Hey, bro, we fucking won! What? What?
Dude, that was weird.
What?
Hey, and I'll tell you, I thought about this when he missed that field goal. I was like, I am the one time I'm not a homer and pick the Browns to win. What do?
Oh.
We win. So from now on, I'm always gonna go against us. No. Crazy game. It was nuts, man. Like, weather conditions weren't great. Obviously, it was windy. It was rainy. But here's the one thing I gotta say about this game is that this entire week I want to see what the national media had to say, and it was Brock Purdy didn't have his weapons. The weather conditions were bad. McCaffrey went out. Trent Williams got hurt. Debo went out. Dude, we were playing with PJ Walker, no Nick Chubb, no Joel Petonio. David Njoku has a burnt face. And we were playing the same conditions as that they were. Okay? No excuse. There's literally no excuse. Like, just keep trading back and forth. We probably have more injuries than they do, and they have their starting quarterback. So that was extremely impressive. Dustin Hopkins, outside of one field goal, was electric. Basically got us that win in the game that Phil Dawson came out.
He put the hex.
Yeah.
Only Cleveland kickers can kick in Cleveland.
Yes, and so
that was the hex. Phil Dawson.
Phil Dawson was there in support, ready to go, and it was a game, man.
Moody should have not been wearing 4.
No,
shame on him.
Shame on him. No, but it really was just an interesting game. A lot of back and forth. The offense really couldn't get a lot going. But we got in position enough to be able to get in field goal range, and that's all that could really account for. Kareem Hunt had a nice run. Can we talk about the defense?
No.
Because the defense was incredible.
Jim Schwartz ran defense remains undefeated against a Kyle Shanahan offense.
Yeah, I saw the stat where Shanahan against Schwartz is 9-1 over his career.
Yep.
Or 1-9. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Jim Schwartz is 9-1 against Shanahan.
All right, not undefeated. One.
Yeah.
One time.
Yeah.
It was on his off day.
Yeah, it was in the lowest amount of yards of the Shanahan since Shanahan took over the 49ers in 2017. So it was awesome to see, man. All these players were really good. In particular, Mark Emerson was really good. JOK had a monster game. Our defensive line just kept pushing them back and back and back. And, held McCaffrey under, 50, I believe, right? Including the injury, I get it, whatever, have that excuse. But, how many other teams can you say that about that held McCaffrey like that?
Well, outside of the first drive, he probably would have gained 20.
Yeah.
Total,
Yeah.
But they came out and gashed us in the first drive, and the Browns came back and bounced back right away. It's kind of impressive. But that seems to be the theme. It's not a fluke.
Yeah.
The Jim Schwartz defense is really paying off. Only 1,000 yards up until week 7.
It's the lowest since 1971 allowed.
The Baltimore Colts.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It just so happens to be our opponent this week, but not in Baltimore.
Yeah. Crazy week, man. I was debating on going. I went last second, and I'm very happy we did.
I told you.
Yeah, and really,
never just go to the Muni Lot to go to the Muni Lot.
Right.
If you're gonna go downtown and tailgate, you better take your ass to the game.
You're right there. Tickets dropped to $28, and I was like, you know what?
Fucking go.
Whatever. I'll go to the game. It was glad I did because it was awesome. One more takeaway from this was, what did Kevin do?
I thought he called a pretty solid game.
Good because he did what?
He ran the ball. I was surprised how many times he ran the ball.
Jerome Ford looked great, 84 yards on the ground. Kareem Hunt looked really good. I mean, it had a lot of nice just drop throws to him, which was perfect for him. Had a couple huge third downs, and you didn't make it hard for your quarterback. I mean, you did the plays on top of some amazing catches by Amari Cooper,
Yeah.
which was incredible. But you made it easy for your quarterback, and you ran the ball how you should run the ball. Um, it was an awesome. I thought it was really good. Obviously, there's some hiccups along the line, but as an overall game, I thought it was a very sound game, and I'm really hoping that we can do something similar in this week's matchup against the Colts, which now Anthony Richardson is out for the season, and so we're going against Gardner Minshew.
Minshew Mania.
Yes, sir.
The new
Uncle Rico.
The new and not improved, but the new era of Fitzmagic is now Minshew Mania.
Yes.
Um,
He's passed the torch.
Yes. But how good is he truly?
Well, according to last week, not great.
No. 4 turnovers last week for the Colts there in Jacksonville.
3 were by Minshew.
Yes. So he can either light you up or just completely.
He threw a couple of wobblers. You see?
Yeah.
I mean, the throws were looking like I can't even describe it. I mean, it wasn't a spiral. It was just looked like something that you'd punt. It looked really weird. So yeah, and on top of that, it's one of those weeks where I feel if you can stop the run game because Zach Moss has actually done very well this year, and they have Jonathan Taylor back, so they have 2 pretty good running backs. Some say really good running backs, but we haven't seen enough from Jonathan Taylor this year that we can say that. But Zach Moss has played very well. But if we can stop that run game, I feel pretty confident in this week.
Yeah, I think it all starts on the defensive side of the ball. With the question marks of who's playing quarterback this week, I feel like it's going to be a theme for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's just say it's PJ Walker.
Yeah, let's get our mind wrapped around that. But at the same time, I feel like Deshaun's going to end up playing this weekend.
Really? I say it's one more week.
It could be, but I guess we'll find out in about an hour or so. If he doesn't practice today, that should pretty much tell you what's going on.
And he had his press conference yesterday, and for honestly, I was listening to him. I felt like he was still unsure about what's going on more than I'm unsure about what's going on. It was very much like a bruise or a contusion in his rotator cuff,
micro tear.
And they kind of broke it down. I thought it was Mary Kay that mentioned that like Drew Brees had that. And outside of that, not many quarterbacks have had this injury, so it's kind of not a lot to go off of. So they're kind of really playing it literally day by day, and hopefully it's just dependent on his body how quick it can turn around and get better. But they said about 4 to 6 weeks, and this is the 3rd or 4th week now.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously it all depends on him and how his body, pulls it together and heals. But at this point, I'm really thinking PJ Walker's going to go out there. So, and honestly, if Kevin called a game like he did last week, I feel pretty confident in that. Outside of minus those interceptions that were very bad. So yeah, that run the ball, but this Colts team is interesting. There's a lot of uncertainties with this team that I think everyone's kind of questioning, and we haven't seen Jonathan Taylor back. I mean, this is only his 3rd week now back, and his first week was a struggle, and last week was a struggle. So, the offensive side of the ball is question mark. Michael Pittman is still a very good receiver and puts up points. I mean, it's definitely their number 1, but what do you thought about that offense?
Well, that Colts offense, they got the weapons to be very solid. They have a solid offensive line led by Quentin Nelson, and they're down on their bookend tackles right now. Both are kind of banged up, so that could be a very interesting challenge. The Browns are one of the number 1 teams in blitzing, so this could put a lot of pressure on Minshew, where he plays very poorly under pressure. I don't know what quarterback doesn't.
True.
I mean, honestly, that's just been the thing this whole entire season that we're not getting very good quarterback play around the league. Um, but almost under 60% QBR rating. Um, so I think being able to put the pressure on Minshew, I think, is one of our Royal Donuts keys to the game.
There we go.
Put the pressure on Minshew. Make him try to win the game for them. Throw the ball, but you got to put pressure on him. Make him make those punt throws.
Yeah, punt throws. I like that term. Throw that there.
Yeah, and you already said it already. Stop the run on against Indy.
Yeah,
they got two backs that are. Got one that's kind of a gadget back, and you got one that's all around back that's still trying to work his way back in the game shape. But the Browns defense has, continued to surprise people. And I think this will be another opportunity for them to show them why they're the number one defense in the league.
Yeah.
And I still can't believe we're saying that. Like, stat wise, they're the best defense in the league. And it just drives me crazy.
It took how many years to realize it was Schwartz? We all saw it externally.
It was Joe Woods. Well, Joe Woods was holding this team back.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, but it took 3 years, 4 years to realize that? I mean, we knew it was after the first year he was here. We knew what the problem was. Look, I mean, it's outside of that defensive line, it's the same crew. I mean, you did add a lot. The defensive line is
they added a lot to the defense, but it was.
But go back from last year, that secondary is damn near the same outside of Juan Thornhill and McLeod.
That's a good point.
And they're playing way different.
Yeah,
a lot of man coverage. That's something that
they're playing to their strengths.
What?
Wow, you're letting your players play to their strengths.
Crazy to think.
Cut it out.
Yeah, right.
But then offensively, one of our Royal Donuts keys to the game, I think, is to just keep it simple, stupid.
Keep it simple, man. Yeah.
Do what you did, Stefanski. Just run the ball. Don't try to go out there and be Mr. Fancy. I'm saying the same thing for Watson or Walker playing, because even if we get Watson back this week, there's no guarantee he's going to be 100%.
Yeah, and I swear to God, if he calls plays like he is 100%, or if there's any designed runs, I'm going to freak out.
Right. Like, take the easy plays. Run the ball till it's boring and you can't run no more. At least us seeing it as boring. Stefanski gets bored of it in the first drive.
Yeah.
If he even puts it on the play sheet. But run the ball, play action, short little routes. Work your way down the field. They don't got to take shots with the backup quarterback.
No. And also, I'll say this. How awesome is it just to have a reliable check down?
Yes.
And that's something you haven't seen, because when you go 5 wide, empty backfield, the running back's out there in the flat. Like, why are you having him run routes when you guys have a check down? You have no check down. That's what they did with DTR against the Ravens. And he had no one to rely on. Like, hey, no one's open. I got to get rid of this ball. Like, you saw that a lot. You saw that a ton, actually, with Kareem Hunt this past week.
Yep, exactly. I think that rolls us right into one of our other favorite segments, our Cowtails, players to watch.
Yes, sir. Well, I'm going to branch off what we were talking about, the tackles. And I'm going to go Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett has been the focal point of this defense, been disrupting every offense that they basically ran into. And the best thing about Myles is that even when Myles is being kind of taken out of the game because of people are putting all the eyes on him, we have Za'Darius, Dalvin Tomlinson, all these guys are even stepping up, man. Alex Wright has been playing well. They have the opportunity. So Myles Garrett is the focal point of that. So Myles Garrett is basically that defensive line, but then we have that other defensive lineman that are now, like, especially Obo. Obo's been playing very good as well. But man, it allows those other guys to be able to sneak in. So Myles Garrett, and you know what? Fuck it, just give the entire defensive line this cowtail, split amongst you, get a little hungry for next week.
Yeah. I think I would have to give mine to an offensive player. Um, One that's been getting a lot of criticism lately, in Elijah Moore.
Hmm.
I think this is a game where you're gonna need that little check down or that small route where you can turn it up and get some speed after. The dude got his helmet knocked off last week.
Fighting before the game.
Wrong place, wrong time.
Yes,
And you got Trent Williams coming at you. You better get your shit together.
I know.
It's
good shit.
But the Browns are. I would say at this point they got fleeced for Elijah Moore. Giving up a second for Elijah has been a complete bust. But at the same time, I think a lot of it has to do with the scheme and where they're fitting him in.
Yeah.
They're asking him to be this gadget guy. Why not just have him run drag routes? He's the fastest guy on the field.
And I
Let him go make a play.
I feel like Marquise Goodwin stepped into that role last week and had that massive that run for like 20 yards.
Yeah, but the issue about Marquise Goodwin is that was one play.
I know.
They're not using these guys like they should. They're
really
like
fast guys. They're not just gadget.
They're just labeling them to a gadget player. We can only use them on the reverse.
It's kind of like that the Anthony Schwartz of like they're not good at anything else but doing these things, and it's not the case. These guys are actually very talented. So let's utilize these guys as receivers that can do plays like this.
I think they need to probably do like a little receiver screen, send some offensive linemen out there, get some blocking. That way he can at least build up some speed. Because it seems like as soon as he catches the ball, he's got like 3 yards to make a move, and it's just too late.
Yeah. And he's too small to.
Yeah, to just break the first tackle. He needs to be able to have some more space to make a move, and that's where I think his issue's been. But I feel like he has a good opportunity this week to be, that guy, that pass catcher, because I feel like they're gonna, buckle down on Amari, because Amari tore up San Francisco.
Tore up 108 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome.
All right, who's your final one going to?
The entire running back room
Ooh.
is getting this last one because I think that obviously most likely to think about PJ Walker's gonna be your quarterback. You need these guys to be reliable and consistently good. And I think if you do it by committee, I think we have a lot of depth there that isn't being fully utilized. I do think Pierre Strong is actually a good back, and I'd like to see him maybe thrown in there just kind of like give Jerome Ford, Kareem Hunt in the fourth quarter, which they have been doing.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of a break because I do think he's talented. So I think running those three backs pretty consistently and not giving up on the run is going to be vital for this week.
Yeah. You hit it right on the head with that one there, Mike. It just. I am just ready to see what happens this week. The Browns can really get the season going, and you could feel really good. If you just go in to win an Indy, everybody might be taking this as an easy win, but those Colts are a very scrappy team. They're very inconsistent. That's what makes them dangerous. That you don't know what team is going to come out there.
Yes.
So I don't know. I'm getting bad vibes from this game just because we don't know what's really going on. And I guess you can really say that about both sides. You don't know what team's going to show up.
Yeah, and it's in a dome, so that's another big question.
The Browns always play very poorly against the Colts and Indy, so that's another red flag for me. I don't even remember the last time we beat them in Indy.
Yeah, I would say we beat them in 2020, but I don't know if that was in Indy though. I think it was here.
Yeah, we beat them in Cleveland.
Yeah,
with Phillip Rivers.
Yeah. But let's go to the last segment here.
Yeah.
So this is the Mike Lewis Real Estate Games to Watch. I'm gonna go with this one, and I was kind of going between two here, but I think the Eagles-Dolphins game is going to be awesome.
Oh.
I had one more that I was going to throw out there, which is probably yours. Probably yours.
Yeah.
But this could be an awesome game to watch because, I mean, both teams are pretty electric on offense and both solid on defense. All right, here we go. I knew you were going to do this. This is why I kind of went this route.
We're going Lions, Ravens. Come on, Dan Campbell. This is a perfect game for us. The Lions are tearing shit up.
Yeah, against the Ravens. So.
And the Ravens they've been getting very lucky, and I'll give them a meh on the season.
Yeah, but I mean, Lamar's been pretty awesome.
Lamar is awesome every year, but the rest of the team is garbage. they needed
Odell Beckham, huh? He's a stud.
Yeah. This is a great opportunity for the Browns to get some momentum in the division if Detroit's able to knock off them fucking Ratbirds.
Yeah.
And the Browns go into Indy and take a dub.
Because then the record would be tied, and then you're just kind of like looking, can we split?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it should be interesting there. So, those are the two games. How you feeling about this week, then?
All right. Well, given that I'm feeling really weird about this game because I'm not going to be able to watch it. I'll be working, unfortunately. But I'm going to keep it a close game.
Okay.
It's going to be under the points here. The over under on the points is 40. Which I think that's a lot.
That is a lot. I don't see that going over.
Which has been a theme throughout the whole NFL. All these games, so far, have been very, everything has been under what's been the points for each game. The Browns are -2.5.
Okay.
But it could move up to 3 with Deshaun as the quarterback.
For sure.
But I don't know. I think I'm going to go a weird score and go 16-13.
Okay.
Browns.
There we go. All right. So I feel a little bit more confident in us than I think you do. But I don't feel completely great about this week either because I don't think you should obviously sleep on any team in the NFL, let alone I think a team like the Colts that does have a lot of upside. So I'm going to go 17-10 Browns just because I have to, but also I think that we can definitely pull this week off. So
we need them turnovers.
Yes, and I think this defense is going to be it. I think the defense is really going to show it, and I think it the clown Pennywise, yeah.
Pennywise.
No, I think
Miles is going to come out in a clown suit and a red balloon.
Yeah, yeah. Just hand it to Gardner Minshew. No, I think we're going to stop the run. I think the defensive line has been showing up against the run, so I think we're going to stop the run, and I think we're going to have that offense rely on Gardner Minshew to win this game, and I don't think he's going to be able to pull it off, especially with our secondary that's been playing really well. So that's about it. 17-10 Browns. We'll find out on Sunday. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. Have a good one. See you next week. Go Browns.